The Diary of a Mother is a project that explores the reactive account of losing a child while educating the impact and aftermath it brings. The documentary theater-styled production will follow the true life stories of mothers who have experienced the emotional tragedy of losing a child. And here now to tell us more about the Diary of a Mother is the playwright and author Hope Hollinsworth Coaxum. Hello and
Hello.
welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being here. And thank you for taking a stand on, I guess, being brave.
Yes, definitely.
It takes a lot of bravery
Yes,
to put something like that on paper.
correct.
And not only did you put it on paper, right? Because I think it would have been easier to just put it in a book form and just let people interpret it their own way. But no, now you're mounting it as a production.
Correct.
So now you're reliving certain things again.
Correct.
So let's just start with what happened and what inspired you to put it into a production form.
Well, I'm speaking from life experience, of
Right.
course. So this isn't something that I put together and just decided to build a bigger platform on it because of. My son was in the service. He served 9 years in the military, and unfortunately, he was killed in action in 2007. For me, writing became my form of therapy. So it was a way for me to kind of remove myself from the grief and the isolation that I was feeling and kind of develop and build and create another world where I didn't have to deal with that grief. But it's always there. You're always feeling as if you're isolated and no one else really understands what you're going through. So the Diary of a Mother was certainly something that has been in the making for many years. However, I really got the strength and the power to put it on paper and then to build this bigger platform in a documentary theater production because of the current climate that we live in now. There's so many different things that are going on, and you know we're there and we're cheering them on, and it's in the news, it's in the press.
Right.
However, no one really understands after all that is done and over with, you're left with that mother who is now suffering in that isolation and in that grief. So I really wanted to, like I said, build this bigger platform, and I wanted people to really feel and understand what's behind that.
To create the dialogue. So how long ago did this happen?
My son was killed in 2007.
2007. And I kind of already knew that writing this was a form of therapy for
Yes.
you. I got it. I mean,
Yes.
just the title alone
Correct.
kind of says it. But also, in being a mom myself, and I'm just going to go back to my comment earlier, in referencing that writing it in a book form, in a journal form, and just having other people interpret it may have been the easier way to release it versus reliving it. And
Correct.
so that to me, it takes something, and I'm just, why is it so important for you to mount it as a production?
I think for me, again, it gives people an opportunity to come inside our world. And I'm hoping to encourage and inspire and support other mothers who have experienced this. Sometimes our voices are not heard.
Right.
People don't understand. People don't even know how to have that conversation with you. They don't necessarily want to bring up your child because they're so afraid that it's going to bring you back to that moment. But we want our children to be remembered. We want them to be remembered for who they were, not for how it happened, but who they were. So for me, this right here was something that, I had to do, and in order for me to encourage, other mothers and to let them know that we're here supporting them.
So, just in referencing the fact that your son was serving in the service, and he was on a tour?
Yeah, he served 3 tours, 2 tours in Afghanistan and 1 tour in Iraq.
And in a tour, it's not basically actively referred to as war. So, what was that like for you?
I think for me, I was in denial. I think that a lot of times, and it was during wartime because it was right after 9/11.
Okay.
So I think for me, it was.
Did you know he was there though?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to know.
And
to what level you're informed.
Yeah. He was back and forth. He would come home and then he would have to go back to active duty. So like I said, I was in denial. I understood what he was doing, and until this day, I'm very, very proud of him. People could say, you never get to meet your hero. I raised mine. So it was,
nice.
yeah,
That's nice.
yeah. So
Very nice.
it was really, I was in denial, but I understood what he was doing. I was always fearful.
Right.
But he never really said so much about it that we would be, afraid.
Right.
He used to have that conversation more with his father than with me,
Right.
because he, as a mom, you're always considered to be that strong one, and you're the one that holds up the family, and that the one that brings that family dynamic together.
Right.
But he never really expressed much to me. He would, when it got to like his last tour, he did tell me, "Ma, it's getting more violent here." And
So,
when you hear that,
violence
Yeah.
alone. I mean,
Yeah.
that's part of his
Yes.
his daily routine, right?
Correct.
So, what style is the play written about?
There are 8 mothers that will take you on a journey. There are various elements. There isn't a person who talks about the army. There is a mom who talks about street violence, a mom that talks about the police shootings, a mom that talks about, her child being assaulted on a college campus, texting and driving, bullying, cyberbullying. So there are various elements. It's not just about
Right, being a veteran,
Correct.
right, or
There are-
fighting in the war.
Right.
It's actually violence, losing your
it's
child
losing
to
a
violence.
child to various elements. And like I said, because it really deals with the current climate that we're living in now.
So, is it safe to say losing your child to violence, even though it's in various forms, or?
I would say that it's safe to say it's just losing your child in whatever way that you lost your child. You can lose your child. Your child can have cancer, heart disease,
Okay.
lupus,
Okay.
diabetes.
Okay.
So it's losing a child in various ways.
From a mom's perspective.
Correct. Correct.
That's
yes.
very interesting.
Correct.
Very interesting. Well, again, congratulations on putting something like this together. Is there anything that you want our viewers to know about this production before we leave?
Certainly. I want to say that this is a very impactful production. It's very emotional. It's very deep. And it's really about letting those voices be heard. And I think that anyone that comes out to see it, that the way that they walk in, they will walk out a different person.
It sounds therapeutic.
It is, very much so.
I mean, I haven't even seen the play. I haven't seen any previews, but I just get the sense that it's a whole healing process that's going to happen in that whole
Correct.
production.
Yes. And it's for everybody. I wouldn't just say for moms, it's for dads, it's for siblings, it's for grandmothers, godmothers, aunties. It's for, it's for everybody to come out and to really see it and to explore, what that reactive account is.
Beautiful. Yeah. So thank you for being here
you.
and sharing it with our viewers. And thank you for living up to your name.
Thank you very much.
Hope, affirmation. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Once again, The Diary of a Mother will have 2 presentations, one on Saturday, August 20th at 8 p.m. and again on Sunday, August 21st at 3 p.m. at the Riverside Theater located on 91 Claremont Avenue in Manhattan. And for more information, visit thediaryofamother.com. thediaryofamother.com.